Top of the morning to y'all peoples. It is Friday morning on, what day is it? December 11th at 8:05 a.m. And oh man, obviously I'm a little bit of a space cadet today, but you can see that I got my Christmas lights up and you can't see all the ones over there. So I'm pretty excited that it's Christmas time. It just hit me all of a sudden. I got here this morning and it was really dark and I'm like, man, I need some light. And I was like, Christmas lights, what day is it? Holy crap, it's almost Christmas time. I don't have my Christmas lights up yet. I better fix that. And it was also, whenever I do videos at home, I got my lights in the background. It looks like super cool. So I wanted to bring that to the office. So today I'm super excited. My sister Jacqueline is going to come by today and talk to me about maybe working for ADS, my marketing company. And I don't really know if I have any position available for her. I just hired another full-time person not too long ago, but I told her that we can surely find some way for her to add value to this company. And if anything, for right now, I have a wealth of knowledge and skills that I can teach her. And if she's anything like me, she'll learn fast, she'll pick things up, and she'll be able to do whatever she wants with it. She can work for me if she wants. She can do her own thing, be a freelancer. I mean, the opportunities are truly endless. And she's 18 years old, so she's just getting started in this world. And I think back to when I was 18, like, what was I doing? When I was 18, when I was her age, like pretty much exactly, like right in between 18 and 19, I moved to Salt Lake City to live with my mom. My mom, stepdad, and two half-brothers lived in Salt Lake City at the time, and they lived right at the base of Cottonwood Canyon, Little Cottonwood Canyon. And if you drive up Little Cottonwood Canyon, you get to two ski resorts, Snowbird and Alta, not Alta Ranch, Alta, Snowbird and Alta. And I really loved snowboarding back then. I wasn't all that good at it, but I went a couple times a year whenever my parents would buy me a lift ticket and throw me on a bus that took me up to the mountain, and I would snowboard with my friends, and I just absolutely loved it. So at that age, I had already been working in restaurants for 2 years. I had been a dishwasher. I think at that time I had only been a dishwasher. And no, I had been an expo, which is like kind of pseudo front of the house, back of the house, in the kitchen, in the dining room. And I moved to Salt Lake City and I got this job serving tables. And I sucked at it. It was so bad. That's a story for another time. But long story short, I ended up getting suspended, which is a nice person's way of firing you. But anyways, I had this job, and my mom, I think, asked me one day, she's like, well, what do you want to do? And I was like, what do I want to do? Like, no one's ever asked me that before. I thought I was just doing whatever I could. And so I thought, well, man, I sure would like to go snowboarding a lot. And I think Corey, my stepdad, told me, well, hey, why don't you go get a job at Snowbird? They have multiple restaurants there. And I was like, really? They have restaurants there? Maybe I can work there. And so I went on their website and I filled out the application. They had an online application. And somebody called me like the next day and she's like, hey, our office is down here in Salt Lake. Come in for an interview on Tuesday. I was like, okay. So I had this interview and I was so nervous. I thought, man, why would they hire me? Like I need to look my best. I need to wear a button-up shirt and I need to be really good and I need to say all the right things and I really need to nail this. They probably won't hire me, but I really want this job. So I go to this interview, so nervous, talk to this lady for like 15 minutes, and basically, she just asked me, why do you want to work here? And I said, well, I love snowboarding. I want to snowboard all the time. I have experience in the restaurant industry for 2 years. And did I mention I really love snowboarding? And she basically was just like, you're hired. And I was like, yeah. And I left that place like, man, I really nailed that interview, you know, like, oh man, I'm such a badass. And just felt so great. And so about a month later, the season began. I went up there for orientation. And it was, I was going to be a busser, a busboy. And there was like 5 of us. We were doing the morning buffet. We had to get there at like 5 in the morning. But we were off between like 10 and 11 usually. Sometimes earlier. If it was super slow, we would just get off at like 9:30. And I was the only American busser. All the other bussers were Filipinos that, you know, if you don't know this about the Philippines, they send like 30 or 40% of their people out into the world to make money and then send money home. And so I was the only American busser. All the rest were Filipinos. So I had the best English. So I was automatically the lead busser. And it was like really eye-opening for me, because here I was, when I went to that interview, I was thinking, man, the competition's thick. I'm probably not going to get it. There's probably hundreds of super qualified people applying for this job. And I was completely wrong. When I got up there, I was like I was the only person that applied to be a busboy besides all the Filipinos. And it just was kind of crazy. And we were short-staffed the whole season. They just didn't have enough people wanting to work there. And it blows my mind, because I talk to people all the time, especially back then when I was in the snowboarding scene, and everyone's like, oh man, I wish I could work up here. I mean, it's awesome. We had killer hours. We got paid pretty well for what we were doing. We'd go there at 5 in the morning. We'd get off at 10 or 11. We'd have the rest of the day to ski. We got a free lift ticket. And, you know, you walk outside of the building and you just put on your snowboard and ski down to the lift. Like, it was so cool. And, you know, it's just, I thought that was going to be a super hard job to get, but it was super easy. And the moral of this story is I want to send a message to all you young people out there, the people in my family like Jacqueline, and there's just tons of you out there right now. And what do you want to do? Where do you want to be? You don't have to be like, oh, I know exactly what I want to do with the rest of my life. No, like, what do you like to do? Do you like to snowboard? Do you want to be around snowboarding? Do you want to be able to snowboard every single day for free? Go work at a ski resort. They're all over the place. There's Big Sky, Montana. I worked there for 4 winters. It's a great place, and they are always short-staffed, always. Every single year, they're short-staffed. They can't get enough people that want to live and work there for the season. It's so easy to get a job at any of these places. But people have this thing in their mind, like I did, that like, oh, you know, it probably won't work out for me. Probably not qualified. There's probably millions of other people wanting to get this job that are way better than me. None of that shit's true. Everybody thinks that. So nobody is going for it. Nobody is asking themselves, what do I want to do? Where do I want to be? So ask yourself that. What would be so cool? Like, what would be the coolest place that you could spend this winter or next summer? What do you want to do with your time? So many people, and you're probably one of them, are just working a job that maybe one of their friends got them, and it pays okay, and it kind of sucks, and it's boring, and you don't really like it, but you don't really know what else to do. Well, you can do whatever you want. So ask yourself, what do I want to do? Where do I want to go? It doesn't have to be a forever plan. It can just be a for right now plan. You can go apply for a job, get that job, work for 2 weeks, and then be like, nah, I don't really like this. I'm going to go back to what I was doing before. You could always go back to what you were doing before. But if you don't ever take those steps, then you'll just never know what's possible for you. And that's a shame, because you'll get to points later in your life and look back and be like, fuck, I wish I would have tried that. I wish I would have done that. Those are the worst regrets. Like, you know, regretting something you did is one thing, but regretting something that you didn't do is like a million times worse most of the time, unless you like ran over a puppy or something. That's pretty bad. But most people, if they did some study or something, they asked people on their deathbed, what's your biggest regret? And most of the time it was regretting things they didn't do. So don't regret things that you're not doing. Go out there, ask yourself, what would be really cool for me to do with my time and get paid for? And then go make it happen. There's like a bazillion things to do. People, you can't open your eyes without seeing money changing hands. Every single thing I see outside this window either costs money, is costing money. Somebody's paying for everything. So money's everywhere. All you have to do is basically open your eyes and breathe, and you can make money. So it's more about, what do you want to do? What kind of skills do you want to develop? What do you want to spend your time doing? What do you want to do when you're not working? You know, you can put yourself in those positions. So anyways, I got to get to work. I hope that this was a valuable message for you. If you have questions or comments, please let me know. And what do I always say? I say be grateful for something, do something nice for somebody, and I'll see you on the next one.